So I did watch the All Elite Wrestling pay-per-view, and I felt like it was a really good show. Like honestly, my favorite match of the night was the Jade Cargill match, simply based on what she was wearing. I'm like, good fucking Lord, she needs to wear that outfit often. All I saw was ass cheeks slamming on that canvas, man. Jade Cargill needs to keep on wearing that outfit. Good fucking Lord, man. She look hot as fuck. But what do I think about Max being the world champion? Now look, I really want to take credit for calling out the fact that I knew that Regal was going to turn on Dean Ambrose to side with Max. I said that in the video. I really want to take credit for it, but it's hard because tons of people most likely saw that coming, so it's hard to really take that kind of credit. Like, I really want to take credit for that prediction, but I can't because a lot of people saw that coming. So I would be a egomaniac if I were to take full credit for that heel turn coming, because everybody saw that coming. But look, man, what's up with the MJF fan base? What's up with his fan base, man? It seems like he walks on water. It's like, look, when it comes to the WWF, it feels like they are the multiverse. It's like we live in different kind of worlds. It's like they are Mars and AEW is fucking Venus or something. Like, the hypocrisy is at an all-time high. You don't understand, man. Like, wow, bro. I can't believe AEW showed Maxwell's record at the end of his match. That was bad. Why did you show his record? This company has been around for 3 years. Let this sink in. His overall record is 23-7. Let me repeat. This is a 3-year-old company. His record is 23-7. Do you know who has the most wins this year for All Elite Wrestling? It's actually Dante Martin. So, all you Austin Theory haters out there, okay, how about you answer this question for me? You keep on telling me he wasn't ready for his main event push. He wasn't ready to be the briefcase winner, right? You were saying he should drop that briefcase. He ain't ready to be a world champion, right? Okay, let me poke holes in your fucking logic. Maxwell, he's been on TV for 3 years. 3 fucking years. Before that, he was on the indies as a fucking nobody. He was a damn nobody. Nobody knew who he was, literally. I used to watch the Young Bucks channel on YouTube, like I'll say 3 years ago. He was on there. Guess what? I know who the fuck he was. All he was Cody Rhodes' best friend. That's it. I know who the fuck he was. So 3 years later, you would think, like, bro, shouldn't you try to make a name for yourself? Shouldn't you show us your hard work? Like, he keeps on cutting promos saying, I deserve this, I deserve that, I'm a fucking draw, I work hard, I bust my ass. Oh, really? Because Dean Ambrose said last week, he said, you only have 1 win within the past 6 months. That's embarrassing. And yet, you are handed a world title match because you are a whiny crybaby about your contract? Bro, he is entitled in hindsight, right? He was crying about his low pay. But if you look at it, dog, you wrestle 10 times a year, right? This dude was crying about, oh, this guy makes more than me, but they can't lace my boots. All these guys for the WWF can't lace my boots. Like, he was crying about how they make more money than him, right? That was his narrative. Dog, he's a fucking fraud. He had all you marks fooled. He's a fucking fraud. It's like Tony Khan did something very stupid. Records shouldn't exist in his company. You know why? Because now we can poke holes in all his fucking logic, right? So on paper, Max doesn't deserve to be a world champion. On paper, that's what his record says. His record says he doesn't deserve to be a fucking world champion. That's what his record says. See what I'm saying? It makes all elite wrestling look fucking stupid. Dog, I can't get over this. He's had 30 matches within the past 3 years. Look, it's stupid because look, Sting wrestles more matches than Max. Make that make sense. Sting is old enough to be his fucking grandfather. And yet, your grandfather wrestles more than you? Look, fuck this bullshit about longevity. Dude, he's fucking 26 years old. What the fuck? The fuck you talking about, bitch? What longevity? To me, he's lazy. I've never in my life of watching professional wrestling since 1992, I've never seen a guy his age, his young age, being part-time, being a part-time superstar, right? I've never seen it before. I remember like it was yesterday when The Rock was 26 years old. Can you imagine what if The Rock at that time had the same schedule like Max? How would you feel? Right? It wouldn't work. That would be fucking stupid. Imagine The Rock at 26 years old at that time in the late 90s wrestling 10 times a year. No, that wouldn't happen. Vince McMahon wouldn't allow that to happen. No, that wouldn't happen. But the point is, I think Max is a fucking liar. I don't think that the WWF has any interest in him. I think he's a fucking liar. I've never heard any reports saying they want him. No. I've heard reports about how they want Wardlow. Go and Google it. They want Wardlow. I've heard reports saying they want Jade Cargill. I've never heard any reports saying they want Max. So he's a fucking liar. Who's saying they have interest in him? What interest in him? He's 5'10", damn near 5'9". How is he a hot commodity? What interest am I seeing here? I haven't heard not one peep or rumor about how the WWF wants him very, very badly. Are you serious? That company has tons of MJF-like wrestlers, right? Look at fucking Grayson Waller. Look at Carmelo Hayes. They have tons of MJF-like wrestlers on that roster. So that's my point. But the fact of the matter is, he might be the least deserving world champion ever of all time. Hell, you could make the argument that the fucking Great Khali was more deserving. Shit. Dog, the Great Khali wrestled more than Max. You see where I'm going with this? You see, look at Roman Reigns, right? Look at Roman fucking Reigns. He is part-time, but hold on, let me add that to the hypocrisy, right? All you fucking dorks, you want him to drop the fucking title to a guy who's full-time, right? Okay, but your logic is you are excited that Max is the world champion knowing that he actually wrestles less than Roman Reigns. Let me say that once again. Max wrestles less than Roman Reigns, and now he's the new world champion. You're not keeping the same energy here. You know what I'm saying? You're not being consistent here. Right? See what I'm saying? This is a fucking multiverse. See what I'm saying? It's a DC multiverse. What's down is up. What's up is down. It makes zero sense. All you people was crying saying Raw needs a world champion. Roman needs to drop one of those titles so one of the shows can have a full-time champion. But you are the same people that want Max to be a world champion, knowing he wrestles 10 times a fucking year without any titles. So just imagine now he's the world champion. Look, he will be, I guarantee you, I'm gonna call it out right now. He will be the worst AEW world champion ever. Because you know why? He never wrestles. That is a workhorse title. If you notice, that is a workhorse title. Fucking Hangman Page, every week he was wrestling. Chris Jericho, he was wrestling every week. Dean Ambrose, he wrestles every fucking week. Kenny Omega was wrestling every fucking week. See what I'm saying? That's a workhorse title. That title should be on a guy who wrestles 10 times a year. He's 23-7, which means he has 30 matches in 3 years as a singles. So, let me poke holes in your logic about Austin fucking Theory. How can you say he's not ready for a push? He's not ready to be the Money in the Bank winner. Austin Theory, hold on. He works his ass off every fucking week. Max has had 30 matches. Listen, I think Austin Theory probably wrestled 30 matches last month. Shit, let that sink in. Austin Theory, he probably wrestled 30 matches last month. The same amount that Max has wrestled in a 3-year span. See what I'm saying? So who's more deserving to be a world champion? A guy who is around the same age as Max, who's younger actually. He wrestles every week. He wrestles dark matches. He wrestles house shows. He wrestles TV matches. He's on TV every fucking week putting on great matches. How come Max ain't doing that? You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have the resume to be part-time. That's the point I'm trying to make. Edge, Roman, Brock, Goldberg. Those guys have earned the right to be part-time. Randy Orton, he has earned the right to be part-time. See what I'm saying? Those guys have main evented WrestleManias. Those guys are multiple time world champions. They have carried the company for fucking decades. They were full-time wrestling damn near over fucking probably 100 plus times a year, probably more than that. Right? Busting their fucking ass on the road every week. They deserve to be part-time now at their age. Those guys are in their 40s, late 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever. Roman Reigns deserves to be part-time. This dude has been carrying that company for the past 10 years. He deserves it. Right? What has Max done? Nothing. What has he done in 3 years? 30 matches. He talks more than he wrestles. Let's just let that sink in. He talks more than he wrestles. Okay. He has 23 wins, right? Okay. Can you remember any rememberable wins? That's what it boils down to. He has 23 wins. I can't remember it, not fucking one of them. The only win I remember was the win against CM Junk. That's the only win that I remember from this guy. All his matches are forgettable. So, what has he done to earn a part-time schedule at such a young age for a young company? It's like he is going backwards. I'm like, hold on, Sting should have that schedule. You see what I'm saying? When you are that young, you have to wrestle every week, right? To earn your stripes. Like Orton, Cena, Roman Reigns. You gotta wrestle all the time at a young age to the point where once you get older, then you can be part-time because you earned it by putting in work at a young age. Just like The Rock, Triple H, etc. Edge. Those guys put in work at the same age as MJF. So they deserve to be part-time. But the point is, you can't complain about Roman Reigns being this 4-year, 2-year champion and being part-time, right? You want him to drop one of those belts. Why? Huh? May I ask why? Why do you want Roman to drop one of those fucking titles so bad? Is it because he's part-time? Hold on. Max is really part-time. He's more part-time than Roman Reigns. And you want him to be world champion? Why? You know what I'm saying? Like, wrestling fans are so stupid. It's like they don't even poke holes in their own logic. They just say dumb shit just fucking say it because they play favorites. I don't play favorites. I speak logic. Why would you want Max to be a world champion? See, y'all gotta put some more respect on the Miz name. Y'all gotta put some respect on Austin Theory's name. You can't say Theory ain't ready. Right? He's fucking 25 now, right? I think he's 25. Max is 26. Guess who has wrestled more matches in the year of 2022? It's Austin Theory. And he has had better matches, better quality matches than Max. So I say once again, who's more ready? And please don't bring up fucking mic skills. Like I said, when it comes to Max, look, man, Tony Khan has made this guy the most overrated wrestler in all of pro wrestling. It's not Max's fault, it's Tony Khan's fault. But you can't bring up mic skills. Like, please do not bring up his mic skills. It's stupid. Look, nobody on the WWF roster is allowed to talk like MJF. Let me say that once again. Nobody on Raw or SmackDown is allowed to talk like MJF. Not even Roman Reigns. Not even The Miz. Let me give you an example on how ruthless The Miz can be on promos if you allow him to have freedom. Do you remember talking smack? Do you remember when he buried Daniel Bryan on that segment? That's a sample of what The Miz can do on a live mic when he's not scripted. So if The Miz was in AEW, he would bury Max on the microphone. He would bury him. Okay? Did you see Talking Smack? That was a sample. That was a tiny sample size of what Mike can do to you on a microphone if you piss him off. See what I'm saying? That's what I mean. If Max was in the WWF, he would be a flop. He would be neutered. Look, Max has a good thing going on. He is allowed to wrestle 10 times a year. And he has a weak resume. CM Junk called him a less famous Miz. And yet he's allowed to wrestle 10 times a year like he's Brock Lesnar. Dog. So I'm saying, like, he's a liar. Come on, man. He doesn't want to go to the WWF. He just wants to squeeze more money out of Tony Khan. Listen, he knows that the WWF doesn't have a high grade on him. He just trying to squeeze money out of Tony Khan, man. That's it. Because why would I want to leave that company when I'm allowed to wrestle 10 times a year and I'm seeing fucking Sammy G wrestle damn near hundreds of times a year, bro? Like, I'm seeing Dante Martin wrestle fucking 40-something matches. I'm seeing Darby Allin damn near try to kill himself almost 40 plus times a year. So why would I want to leave? I'm the only guy on the roster that's allowed to wrestle 10 times a year. Why would you want to leave that? Dog, Daniel Bryan wrestles more than Max, and he's a fucking legend. Chris Jericho wrestles more than Max, and Chris Jericho is a fucking icon. Max wrestles less than legends who are paid more than him. You see where I'm getting at? Look, man, he robbed Tony Khan, man. I can't believe they made him a fucking world champion. He robbed Tony Khan. And hey, I say more power to him. But the point is, he doesn't deserve to be a world champion. It's like, that's not right. When it comes to his fucking record, his record says he does not deserve to be a world champion. That's what his record tells you. 23-7 in 3 years. Look, he would never go to the WWF. I'm gonna just say it. He's never going there. Never. Because when it comes to that company, you gotta be a workhorse. They would never allow a guy that young wrestling 10 times a year. You don't hear me, man. You don't grasp what I'm saying. Right? When it comes to a grueling WWF schedule, it's grueling. You don't understand it. It is grueling. You gotta wrestle house shows and you gotta wrestle dark matches and live TV matches. Is grueling. And you gotta be on the road multiple times a week. It's grueling. Right? Dog, the moment Raw ends, they are off to the next town. The moment their match is done. That's how grueling their schedules are. You think Max wants to do that? Dog, Triple H is going to want Max to wrestle every week, just like Austin Theory. There's no way in hell Triple H will allow this guy at that age to wrestle 10 times a year. Are you serious? Triple H, he's old school. Triple H used to be a fucking wrestler. You think he's gonna allow some young punk with a weak resume to walk all over him? Dog, Triple H, he wishes he was wrestling 10 times a year in his prime. Like, huh? You don't think Triple H would have loved to wrestle 10 times a year during his prime years? You think he is going to grant that to a guy that hasn't earned shit? Of course not. So stop saying Max is going to the WWF. He is not. He ain't going nowhere. I remember his first year with All Elite Wrestling. He said that he was going to be with All Elite Wrestling for 20-something years. See, y'all missed that promo. I didn't miss it. He said that he was going to be with that company for years and years and years. That's what he said with his own mouth. He ain't going nowhere. He knows he has a good thing going on. Right? But the point is, I can't get over the fact that it's 30 matches in a 3-year span. Like, have you seen the records of this year alone? Dog, by that logic, fucking Orange Cassidy should be a world champion, right? That's what the record says. Hobbs should be a world champion. That's what the record says. But look, Max will go down as the worst world champion ever. I guarantee it. Because he's barely gonna wrestle. And you fanboys are going to get tired of him very, very quickly. It's coming soon. Every world champion that company has had has been a fucking workhorse. And when you rarely see him wrestling and walking around with that title, you will turn on this kid very quickly. You will turn on him. That's going to happen because he's not going to wrestle. I guarantee it. He's not going to wrestle as much as Adam Page. He's not going to wrestle as much as Dean Ambrose. Dog, Max is lazy. He doesn't wrestle shows on the indies. Dean Ambrose did. Max, like, what did he do to earn this schedule? I don't get it. So he doesn't wrestle any shows outside of that company, so which means he stays in the house, right? This way he does. He goes to Florida or wherever they film. He cuts a fucking promo and he goes back home. And he does it all over again the fucking following week. Like I'm telling you, man, he does not deserve to be a world champion. What has he done? Nothing. Like, he should have been a mid-card champion. He should have started out with a mid-card belt so we can see what is he capable of as a champion. Why did they give him the world title this fucking soon? Look, he's going to fail. He will fail. He is going to be a bad champion because he never wrestles. How can you say Theory does not deserve what he has earned this year? He wrestles all the time. Look at his record. That kid wrestles all the time, every week. Like, bro, he puts on great matches. And still you think he ain't ready? Like, who's ready? Hold on, so Theory, he's younger than Max. So, and yet he wrestles more. But you're still saying he's not ready. But Max is ready even though he's wrestled 30 times in a 3-year span, which is a fucking insult. See what I'm saying? I'm right, you are wrong. That's stupid. That's fucking stupid. A guy his age should be a fucking workhorse. Then when he gets older, then Max can switch to a part-time schedule. Like, bro, what is he going to do when he gets older and older and older? So I'm saying, like, that's what I'm saying, like, he's overrated. How can you rank him if he ain't wrestling? It's like, how can your promos earn you a world title shot? So by your logic, right? Just because he's good on a microphone, he deserves to be a world champion? Hell, by that logic, they should make me a world champion, right? By that logic, they should make every guy who can talk shit on the microphone a world champion, by your logic. Because when it comes to his record, he does not deserve shit. Like, I don't get it. But I did see that the crowd finally turned on CM Junk. I saw it. I think the crowd was like, fuck CM Punk, fuck CM Punk. I'm like, bro, where have you been at? CM Junk was my first video on this channel. He was my first video about AEW. Like, CM Junk was the guy who put my channel on the map. I've been saying it since day one. He ain't no draw. He ain't gonna do shit in All Elite Wrestling. He will cause problems. He's an asshole. He's a jerk. He's arrogant. He's cocky. That's what I said in multiple videos. But people said I was a hater. Look where he's at now. People are saying fuck CM Punk at pay-per-views. See, now times has changed now. Remember 5-6 years ago, the fans were saying CM Punk at like at all shows just to be a troll. They went from that to saying fuck CM Punk. Come on, man. That's fucking irony. But I am glad that Omega and the Bucks are back, because that show needs those three guys, man. I'm serious. That show, they need all the help they can get. That show is fucking floundering. Dynamite is fucking floundering. So I have no problem that they are back. But when it comes to my girl, what's her name? Jamie Hayter? Man, I love me some Jamie Hayter. Look, man. I was the first one to put her over. Go and look back at my videos. Like last year, I made a video, right? It was about all the top 5 wrestlers who I think should jump ship to the WWF. And I put her in my top 5. I did that last year on December. So that was a long time ago when nobody knew who she was. She was a fucking bodyguard, but I still saw potential in that girl. Now, look where she at. You know what? I might put that video in the goddamn description box. I put her in my top 5 of the people that the WWF should sign. That was last year. That's an old video now. Old ass video. I called it. I saw money in that girl. Now she is a new champion. But I wanted her to beat Jade Cargill. Now I'm wondering, maybe Paige should be the one who should beat Jade Cargill, because Jade should be beaten by a girl who has a big name, and it should be Paige. So when Jade finally drops that belt, it should be against Paige. But the overall show, it was good. But when it comes to Wardlow, dude, Wardlow had an awful title reign. Look, I have no problem that Wardlow dropped that belt to Joe. Look, man, Wardlow had an awful reign. Look, I'm gonna keep on saying it. Wardlow should have went after the world title. Now look where he's at. That dude had an awful title reign. Why couldn't they just give him the fucking world title? Hell, he's more deserving than Max. Hold on. So Wardlow beats Max fair and square in a fucking squash match, and then months later, Max gets handed a world title? Don't you think that should have been Wardlow's title? See what I'm saying? Shit don't make sense. But it was a good show. But Max does not deserve to be a world champion. He will be an awful champion. Awful champion. He wrestles less than Roman Reigns. Hell, he wrestles just as much as Brock Lesnar. But at least Brock Lesnar earned that status. Max is a nobody who is called a less famous Miz. He does not deserve a part-time schedule at 26 years old. I'ma say it once again. He would not go to the WWF. There's no way in hell he ain't going there. So shut the fuck up. Stop saying he's going there. What makes you think Triple H is going to let him wrestle 10 times a year? It's not gonna happen. Triple H, he works you to the fucking bone. There's no way in hell Max will wrestle on Raw 10 times a year. Are you insane? That's never gonna happen. And if that does happen, he will be a jobber. Triple H will make sure of that. Triple H wants workhorses because he was a workhorse. There's no one in hell. Vince, Bruce Pritchard, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, they won't allow MJF to wrestle 10 times a year. Okay, there's house shows, there's dark matches. You have to wrestle in every match, every week. Look at fucking Cody Rhodes. He was wrestling Seth Rollins, KO, Theory, Drew McIntyre. He was wrestling a lot of people in house shows. You know why? You have to do it. Unless you're fucking Brock Lesnar or Reigns or Edge, you have to wrestle house shows and dark matches. It don't matter how much you're paid. You know what I'm saying? So, can we please put to bed this rumor that he's going to the WWF? It's not gonna happen. He's lazy. He's too lazy to work that schedule. He wrestles 10 times a year, right? And guess what? He only shows up to one show, and that's Dynamite. Dog, that's an easy fucking life. You wrestle 10 times a year, and you only show up to one show per week. That's easy money. That's easy fucking money. He ain't going nowhere. Stop saying that. I've never heard not one rumor that Triple H wants to sign him. No, I've heard he wants to sign Swerve. I've heard he wants to bring back Keith Lee. Shit. I heard he wants to bring back Black. He wants to bring back a lot of people, not Max. I've never heard not one rumor that he's bringing over Max in 2024. That's a made up bullshit rumor that Max started. He ain't going to that company. They don't fit his style. If they don't fit his demands, they will not allow him to wrestle part-time because he's a nobody. What has he done to wrestle part-time in the WWF? But I don't think he's going to have a long reign. All I see are potential bad feuds. I'm hearing rumors that he might feud with Wheeler Useless. Let that sink in. If that's going to be his first feud against Wheeler Useless, bruh, we are off to a roaring start already. My prediction will come true. He will go down as the worst champion in history of that company. What do I think about him and Regal as a team? Look, I mean, I don't care. It's like, what is Regal going to do that he was doing with Dean Ambrose? Max does not need a fucking mouthpiece. So what is him Regal going to be good for? Right? Max does not need a manager. So what is Regal going to do with him? I don't know. But Regal should be a heel, right? That's good. But overall, I don't get that pairing. Max does not need a mouthpiece, so what is going to be good for? I don't know, nothing. But I don't think this is a full heel turn for Max. I still think he's just an anti-hero who does bad shit and sometimes does good shit. I don't think he's a full-fledged heel. And look, here's the thing. Eventually, bro, Max has to turn face. He can't be a lifelong heel. That's boring. That means he ain't growing. You have to see what you are made of. You have to eventually switch roles to see how good you are. Will he suck as a face? We don't know. See what I'm saying? At least try it. I will give him respect if he tries it. At least try it. The Miz tried it. Who else tried it? Orton tried it. Brock tried it. So, but look, at the end of the day, him being world champion is a slap in the face to that whole roster who puts in work every week on these shows. I mean, shit, man. The kid barely wrestles and he's handed a fucking world title. And you're saying Theory don't deserve shit, even though Theory has wrestled 100 plus matches this year alone. Putting in work. Hard work. But he don't deserve shit. Look, man. I think Theory is just as good on the microphone as MJF. But guess what? He's not allowed to talk like Max. Nobody is on that roster. Roman ain't, Brock ain't, Lashley, Seth Rollins. Nobody is allowed to talk like Max. So you can't say Max is a better promo than LA Knight. You can't say that. Because last time I checked, Raw is not TV 14. SmackDown is not TV 14. So they are held back from saying what they really want to say. So that's unfair to say Max is better than LA Knight. He ain't better. He's not better. I can't tell. Max can say anything he wants to, but LA Knight can't. So that's a bad comparison. I think Theory can be just as good as Max on that microphone. It's just we can't tell because he's held back from TVPG guidelines. So fuck all that bullshit about Max being a great talker. No, bruh. He's allowed to say crazy ass shit on a microphone because TK don't give a shit. But overall, this was a decent show. Good. It was good. Great action. Good matches. That's it. I'm done.